Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the mini-series where we bring you 5 films thematically related to the film we're covering on the main feed this week, which is Body of Lies from 2008. I am your host, Landon Solano, joined always by my co-host, Truman Capps. Truman, it's good to see you.
Landon, it's great to be seen, and boy, did we cover Body of Lies? I don't remember watching this movie at all. What's it about?
I have no idea. Maybe the 5 films that the machine... Listen, okay, one thing that's happened since the last 5-4 is the machine has taken the reins away from me. I'm no longer picking the 5 films that are thematically related.
Oh.
It is now giving me the 5 films that we have to talk about.
Oh, that's a big that's a big change. Wow.
I know. So I'm no longer responsible for what we are about to cover.
Oh, sure you are. Okay. Wow, that sure is convenient that we can then pawn off any disagreements we have about the relatability of these movies onto a cold and unfeeling machine.
We have an enemy in common. An enemy of an enemy is our friend.
Okay, great. Well, then we can both react to them together, I suppose. What has the machine, and not you, definitely not you, picked for us?
All right. Moving on to the first film the machine has for us.
The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. This is, wow, looks like it's a black and white cloak-and-dagger 60s spy movie.
It is not kind of cloak-and-dagger.
The guy's wearing a cloak in the picture.
Well, true. Okay. It is a John le Carre film of the novels of, is it Richard Smiley? The character from Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh, I see.
A number of those espionage Cold War thrillers.
Okay. So this is maybe a somewhat more realistic, less bullety, explodey type espionage tale.
Yes, exactly. But it is like, a man on a mission, and I guess Roger Ferris doesn't go into Body of Lies saying this is going to be my final mission. Mm-hmm. But there is this taps into, like, how much does a person know? How can you trust them? Can they re-enter society after, what they've been through in secret intelligence, that sort of stuff. Very British.
Yeah.
Very British. It stars Richard Burton.
And he's just swilling tea the entire time, right? Just eating jellied eel sandwiches left and right.
Yes, that's what we call what Richard Burton drinks.
Yeah, sure, right? I mean, it's a brown liquid, isn't it?
I suppose so, yes. The cinematography in this one is utterly fantastic. This is, like, what I like about this era of spy film, which is just a very short window before James Bond kind of, I didn't say ruined everything, but just kind of influenced too much.
Okay, sexed the whole thing up, yeah.
Yeah. This is like the gritty, psychological thriller part of the spy world, not the thrilling, globe-trotting adventure type.
Yeah.
How does one person be able to cope with everything that they're asked to do morally, ethically, on an individual? How do you live with it? That in a horror film, you never want your character to have to grapple with the deaths of the other characters.
Yeah, sure.
Because it would debilitate them. This is the opposite of that.
And so in a way, this, again, seems like the movie we referenced a lot before, The Departed, also written by the same guy who wrote Body of Lies, because that movie is very much about the psychological toll it takes being an undercover agent and lying to everybody around you.
I have no evidence of this at all, but The Spy Who Came In From the Cold feels like it could have influenced The Departed, for sure, on some level.
Okay, so there's also a lot of Dropkick Murphys in this movie.
Yeah, inexplicably about 35 minutes into it, when it brings up the title card.
I love it. I love that you remember all the same things from The Departed that I do. Okay, what do we got next?
All right, that was 1965 by Martin Ritt. We're taking a detour to our next film, which we talked about on the main episode.
Syriana, the famously easy-to-follow movie that George Clooney won an Academy Award for.
Do you remember that Matt Damon is in this movie?
Yes, I remember that his kid gets electrocuted in a swimming pool, spoiler alert, and that he lives in Switzerland for some reason.
Okay.
That's all I got for you, though. Matt Damon's there. Who else is there?
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright is there. Good for him.
He's not. This is pre Jeffrey Wright's beard, which is my, I don't know. I live and die by Jeffrey Wright's beard. It is glorious and something to behold. If I could just put a poster on my wall of his beard, I would.
Okay, but so without the beard there, it's like you're kind of adrift. It's like you've got nothing you can hold on to.
It's a mustache. It's a tease. It's a beard tease.
Mm-hmm. That's what a mustache is. It's a beard tease. It's a trailer for a beard. It's a soft launch of a beard.
Yeah, but underneath it is still Jeffrey Wright, and that's a pretty damn good thing to have.
Yeah. But that being said, we haven't really talked much about the movie, just about the facial hair in it. Also, George Clooney has a beard in this movie. Do you think that George Clooney has Jeffrey Wright's beard? Is that the Oscar?
Yeah, you can't have too many beards in one movie or they'll be competing for your attention. So, I think it was smart to give one person the beard over another. However, would Jeffrey Wright have won the Oscar had he had the beard and George Clooney didn't? Does the beard on George Clooney win the Oscar of this movie?
That's hard to say. So still nothing to say about the plot of Syriana or what's going on in Syriana.
Nope.
There's some beards and there's the absence of beards.
Here's a connective tissue. George Clooney gained weight for this role.
Oh, good for him.
Just like Russell Crowe gained weight for Body of Lies. That's the story that's being told.
How Russell Crowe gained weight and then they made Body of Lies is what you mean, yes.
How much of the beard on George Clooney is covering the weight? Like, he can't go out in public as George Clooney but plus 50 pounds. He wouldn't be able to do that. Tabloid would be all over him.
Oh, sure.
Right? Like his image.
Yeah.
So
but
how much is the beard concealing of his weight?
I feel like a tabloid photographer could see a George Clooney-esque guy with a beard who weighs a little bit more and be like, that's George Clooney, and take the picture anyway.
You know why? Because Clooney is of the superstar status that he has a PR team, and they would be so well versed in the tactics of hiding a pregnancy from sitcom audiences that they would be able to coach Clooney on how to hide his extra weight from the tabloid presses.
Okay, so sort of George Clooney's publicists are basically playing this very intricate game of cat and mouse with an elusive adversary, which presumably happens in the movie Syriana, which you refuse to talk about, even though the machine is saying that it seems related to the movie Body of Lies.
Suddenly, now that they're being forced on me, I have a allergy to talking about them, apparently.
Okay, well, that's great. I don't know. Syriana seems to be a movie about... I mean, I've seen it, but I don't remember much of it. It's a very convoluted film about war in the Middle East, counterterrorism, extremism. A car explodes at one point. George Clooney gets tortured.
Yeah. There's a ringing in his ears. I don't think that happens in Body of Lies.
No, it doesn't. So, that's the problem with Body of Lies right there. Sound design. What do we got next? Munich. Well, okay, there you go. A Spielberg movie about kicking some terrorist ass.
Yes.
In pretty cool looking 70s fashions.
Yeah. Based on a true story, the Olympic Games in 1972, Munich.
Yeah.
As the title suggests.
Well, I mean, it's not like, there was the terrorist attack at the Munich Games, and then this is about the dudes who went and found the guys who did the terrorist attack at the Munich Games and took them out.
Correct.
Yeah. I saw this on DVD shortly after it came out, and I remember actually being underwhelmed by it, even though I have since heard it referred to as one of Spielberg's quiet masterpieces.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't prepared for it to be as much of a cloak-and-dagger-y movie. I was expecting it to be more action-y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's apt. I agree. I had a similar experience. I have watched this a second time, and I think it requires 3 viewings. Because the first, you have that response to it. is this isn't the Spielberg movie I was expecting. Mm-hmm. The second viewing you have of it is I want to bone and lick all of Daniel Craig's body in this movie.
Okay. Wow, this is what I miss out on having only seen the movie one time.
This is like 1 year as he's prepping to be James Bond. So like he's young, he's getting in shape, and he's making himself known. And then the third viewing, you're like, oh yeah, wow, this is what Argo wanted to be. This movie didn't win Best Picture. Argo wanted to be a movie that won Best Picture, and it was willing to suck as many Hollywood dicks as it had to get there. So this is what Argo would be like. Was Daniel Craig among those people? Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, this seems much more memorable than Body of Lies, because I can actually remember several scenes from this movie.
Yeah, I think this is one worth revisiting. Again, this is a dad trap, for sure, but one that you should enter with your eyes open.
Most of the world is a dad trap, especially when you have dad-esque tendencies.
Moving on.
Yes. Zero Dark 30. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see this movie.
Oh.
So
I did in the theater.
Tell me about it in this weird cadence.
I cannot.
Because
this was let's follow up on the Hurt Locker. This is 2012, and so I feel like we're still in that let's comment on everything that happened that we couldn't comment on while it was happening, although it was still kind of happening. And I remember this being controversial for one reason, which was the person that Jessica Chastain plays was a consultant and still undercover when this movie came out. So it was a potential risk for her for being exposed by the popularity of this movie.
Well, I mean, but also it's not like they had her. It's not like they forced her to be an advisor on this against her will, or she like didn't know that it was going to become a movie. Like she chose, knowing her profession, to do it.
True. I'm just saying that was just what I remember of it, and I think it was one of the first forays into drama that I saw Chris Pratt do.
Maybe this was when Chris Pratt fell in love with the concept of being a Tier 1 special operator machine gun frowny boy.
Yes. But most importantly, this has Mark Strong in it.
Yes, Mark Strong, but he's not portraying a Middle Easterner in this one, I hope.
I don't remember. I was going to say no, but I can't say that with all certainty.
I would hope that by 2012, the amount of brown face he had to do to play a Middle Eastern person in Body of Lies was no longer in vogue, so to speak.
Yeah. But I will say, very late in the game, Gandolfini performance too.
Oh, okay. Well, now you've got me on board. I've heard it was good. I heard there was controversy because it gives some credit to Torture for getting the information they needed. But the main thing I'm getting looking at this is it's amazing this movie came out in 2012 because it was about a thing that happened midway through 2011.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was the whole rocket pack on its back to popularity. This movie existed for the Oscar season in a way that I think many don't, and not for the better. No one talks about Zero Dark 30 these days.
No, nobody does. Nobody really talks about the Hurt Locker either, even though that movie won Best Picture.
The Hurt Locker though sticks out in my brain of I would rewatch that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fine movie. I just don't know that. I mean, it just doesn't seem to have had a lot of punch since then. The Hurt Locker had a lot more to say about America's wars in the Middle East than, say, Body of Lies did, so I give it credit for that.
That's true. All right, let's move on to our last film.
Let's go on to our last film. Ooh, Sicario! The thing that Sicario is such a tightrope act, because on the one hand, it is manifestly about the stuff that your Fox News uncle is convinced is happening 24/7 in every town within 300 miles of the Mexican border.
Yeah.
And it's written by Taylor Sheridan, who is like a good writer, but he's
a specific writer.
A specific kind of... He is very much writing for your Fox News uncle who is interested in, you know, drug cartels that are evil and cowboys in Montana who are good. And yet it's, you know, it's very effective at what it does. It's beautifully filmed. It is like, you're on the edge of your seat. I saw this in theaters. I paid for my whole seat, but Landon, I only needed the edge.
Can you? I want theaters to start implementing, like, I didn't like that movie. I only want to pay for half of my seat, please.
Well, I worry that if they do that, then they're going to sell the remainder of your seat to somebody else. So I'm going to be on the edge of my seat, but then there's some other more relaxed guy taking up the other 90% of my seat with his legs splayed out on either side of me.
Would not mind if that was Daniel Craig.
We're learning a lot about Landon today on the show.
What else connects this to Body of Lies, though? We talked a little bit about this on the main episode.
Let's see. It's got Josh Brolin in it. So
okay. How does that work?
Well, I mean, he's look. You got Daniel Craig. You want to have sitting behind you. I want Josh Brolin sitting behind me. Frankly, he's a good-looking dude, aspirational, and also I talked to him about his role in Inherent Vice.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what else. I mean, it is also a movie about hardcore U.S. operatives going across the border into another country and fighting with people, and the clash between the two cultures. It just actually engages with that more head on, and also it goes, I think, further to kind of humanize people who live in Mexico and are just like trying to do their thing while all this stuff is going on around them. Yeah,
which is I think an element completely existent or non-existent in Body of Lies. Like, you see them en masse, you know, the people of Jordan and, you know, these other places he goes to, but you never get the like on the street panic or fear, or just, it doesn't even have to be those things. It just be like, what is it like to live in that world?
Yes.
Because it's entirely through Leo's eyes, and he's only really targeting the terrorists or assets.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be a little more specific in what I say here that I alluded to on the main episode, which is Sicario finds the suspense through the confrontations, through the kind of seriousness of its content, the way that Body of Lies does not. Body of Lies is like, we're dealing with serious content, and we're putting a Hollywood production on top of it with, you know, practical effect explosions and stuff. Sicario is very much like, you're going to be gripped to the edge of your seat, and Daniel Craig is going to be sitting behind you, and you're going to love this entire film because of the tension you feel for the characters in the stakes of the situations they're in.
Yes.
It doesn't have to manufacture suspense through spectacle. It uses, you know, the scenario to draw that out.
Yeah,
it should have been called Scenario.
Yeah, Sicario Scenario really is that's the name of my Batman villain. Yeah, you know, it gives the feeling of being in a war. I mean, and I've been in tons of wars, so I would know. But like every environment that they are in, there's this sense of constant danger that anything could happen, and they have to keep going into these dangerous environments, and it's quite thrilling.
So you heard it here first. Watch Sicario over Body of Lies.
Yeah, I would hope that would have been obvious, because everybody still talks about Sicario 10 years later. It's a good movie, although not really representative of Mexico. There's a lot of great and awesome stuff going on in Mexico, and we should all go down there and have a good time and shoot nobody.
Well, that has been 5 films for Body of Lies, and that puts a cap on that film, and we move on to our next. Truman, it's been good talking to you about this. We'll see everyone next time.
Landon, thank you as always for translating the machine. Bye, everybody.
See you next time.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit moviememorymachine.com.